Recording started.
Thank you so much for having us today. We are truly excited to help you choose your own adventure. This Safe Share link was just a goofy clip about being a teacher. We have it in our toolkit, so you can enjoy that on your own time as well. I guess Goofy has not had that much action in a long time. So it's just a cute little clip about being a teacher and all of the things that we have to juggle as a teacher. So they have so much going on, as you know, from your own classroom. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Tracy Smith. I live in South Florida because I do love the sunshine. I honestly don't know what to do in winter weather, as our fellow presenter Eric Moore can attest to. I have no idea what to do with snow. I've been working online for over a decade now. I've had multiple different positions, and currently I'm the K-8 department chair for the International Academy. I met my husband Jarrett at FSU. Go Noles! I do deal with gators, just saying, because I have some in my family, so I am okay with other colleges. It's okay. I have three beautiful children, Zachary, Grayson, and Ari. They are all part-time K-12ers. We go for world language and embark. We love all of the programs we have here at K-12. All five of us love to do things together as a family, and currently we are purple belts training for our blue belts in Jiu-Jitsu.
Hello, I am Elisa Alfonso, and I've been teaching with K-12 International Academy since 2013. I've taught online for 14 years, either at the middle school or high school level, math. I earned my bachelor's degree in mathematics from the University in Northern Colorado. My master's degree is in ELL and diverse learners from Adams State University. My husband and I have three children, Ashley, who is 17, Anthony is 14, and Amanda is 11. We currently live in Colorado, so I'm kind of jealous of everyone that lives in Florida where it's sunny and warm. I love spending time with my family and traveling.
Hello, I'm Eric Moore. I've been with K-12 since 2012. Presently live in Cleveland, but since my time in K-12, I've lived in Washington, D.C., North Carolina, so I've got to travel around a little bit, which has been excellent with my wife's job. Originally from Ohio, though, have my bachelor's in education from Youngstown State University and my master's in sports administration from Ohio University. Now, I don't want you to get confused about Northeast Ohio. That is sunshine you can see in the picture, but it is not normally like that. We have cloud cover 75% of the year, so I don't want to give anybody any misconceptions. I love spending time with my family, cooking, reading history books, and sports as well.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for having us today. My name is Kate Atrash, and I'm a teacher at the K-12 International Academy. I've been here since 2013. I earned my bachelor's and my master's from the University of Colorado in Boulder and Denver, respectively. We are currently stationed in St. Augustine. I love spending time with my husband and two daughters, Lily and Lorelei, and I'm so excited to hear from the group.
Hi guys, I'm Laurie Haynes, and like Kate, I also got my degree at the University of Colorado in Denver, even though I live on the entire opposite coast. I'm down in Florida with Tracy. I'm near Disney World, so that's always good. You know, I'm originally from New Hampshire, so I know the cold like Eric, but I've been in Florida for a decade now, so I definitely have a problem with snow now. But my husband and I have two children who are grown. My youngest is now a senior in high school, online as well. And my oldest has given me two beautiful grandkids, and you can see them in the picture, and that's my little grand puppies. No, they're actually my kid puppies also. So I hope you guys enjoy the session.
So a little bit of background on what exactly is Choose Your Own Adventure and why did we come up with this concept. K-12 International Academy has rolling enrollments. We have 6 start dates in the fall and 6 start dates in the spring. So with that comes some challenges. We have students starting at different times, and hosting Class Connect sessions to accommodate all of those needs can pose a bit of a challenge. We have students that come to us with a desire to accelerate and go more quickly, and we also have students that need some assistance to support some gaps in their education. So Choose Your Own Adventure was created for differentiation of instruction. We wanted to help teachers host those CCs, we call our Class Connect sessions, to allow students to work where they need to be. So students can stay in the main room for the session with their instructor on whatever lesson they are presenting. And they can also go into some preset breakout rooms with links and activities that are targeting where they are currently learning in their curriculum. And we'll get more into that in a little bit. So first, let's go ahead and do a quick polling activity. With your K-12 school, do you have students that are working at different places with your curriculum? So go ahead and give us an A if that's a challenge to meet all of the needs, yes. Or is it, yeah, students are close to pace, but we can make it work for a B. Or C, no, we have one start date and students tend to be around the same time in their, or same place in their curriculum. So go ahead and use that polling activity. So let's go ahead and see how we have our room divided up. So that's pretty interesting. We do have a couple polls going on because there's a lot of people in the room. Woohoo, we have about 340 people here today. So it looks like there are some that did not respond, but we have a good amount of people here that do have a challenge for different reasons. So this will be really beneficial for today. Thank you so much for participating in the poll. So now I want to take us a few minutes because we hear that word differentiation a lot in education. So over here on the left-hand side, we have a number 1. And so I'd like to take a minute to say, what is differentiated instruction? So can you please use your tools and write on one, what does differentiated instruction mean to you? And over on the second side, how do you differentiate in your online environment? There's a whole lot of wonderful feedback there. And I just asked around and I see there's some echoing going on, so I adjusted my speakers, so I will do my best. I am using a headset. So for differentiated instruction, we have comments such as we have individualized learning needs, we have adjusting instruction to meet the needs of the students, teaching the same topic at different levels, varying activities based on where they are, meeting the needs of different learners. Wonderful, wonderful feedback. And then we also have on the second side for how do you differentiate your instruction? Small groups, choice boards, modified curriculum, choices, flipped classrooms, careful planning, teach in small groups instead of the whole group, tiered CC sessions, breakout rooms, scaffolding. Wonderful. This is terrific. So now this is a quick little video which kind of just sets the tone for what some of our families and students need. After speaking with students and parents and other administrators, I developed a Choose Your Own Adventure Class Connect session because people need help. Students were in different places in terms, and they really just wanted to learn. They were enjoying curriculum, but we need to find a way to service them as best as we could. We wanted to reach multiple ability levels in one Class Connect session. So it took more planning up front, but we were able to use it in multiple ways throughout the year. If a family was contacting us outside of our Class Connect session, that pre-planning was really helpful because the links that we created were at our fingertips to use, and we didn't have to go digging around for things. It was already there. We already created it. We just had to grab it. I piloted the program with one teacher from each subject area, math, science, history, and English, last spring, because different subjects approach things differently. We teach differently. There's different needs. How would students respond to being in a breakout room with recordings? Would we need to monitor them differently to teach the lesson in the main room? So during that pilot, I had the pilot group with Elisa, Ashley, Eric, Kate, and Lori, the most incredible group ever. You guys are amazing. I love you. And we met throughout that semester, and we worked through our methods. Should that breakout room be with different units or different lessons? Meaning, should we have a breakout room with every single unit for our curriculum? Or should it be just different lessons that focus on whatever unit we were covering in the main room? So each subject worked a little bit differently depending on what they needed. And then we regroup and we would talk through it. And what we found was that students were able to gain what they needed, and they were requesting these sessions. Teachers were able to invite more students to their sessions than they had previously. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to turn it over to our teachers so they can show you how they designed their sessions.
Okay, so in math it was hard for me at first to kind of grasp the concept since math is so sequential and things need to be followed in order. So mine was a little different, but it was good to collaborate with the other teachers and see what worked for them and what didn't work for them, and it helped me to find out what worked for me. So with one of the lessons, I was able to cover 10 different lessons, 4 in Math C and 6 in pre-algebra, just by looking at like what is a topic in general. So the one that I'm going to share with you had to do with volume. And then we talked about, examples in the real world, because I always like to relate math to the real world. And then I always try to find some type of video to share with them, some type of online math game. And then I would send them to the breakout rooms to work on their current lesson. I labeled the breakout rooms for the lesson, that the student was working on. So there was 10 different breakout rooms. And then I would just go as they were working in those breakout rooms, and popped into each breakout room to see if they needed help while they were working on that current lesson. Then we all came back. Some of the kids might have been working on the volume of a cylinder, some might have been working on the volume of a cone, and we came back and did a real-world application. So we spent 15 to 20 minutes in the main room describing what is volume, examples of volume in the real world, doing our video in our online math game. Then I let them go into their breakout rooms for 15 to 20 minutes to work on their current lesson. And then we came back and spent 15-20 minutes and worked on a real-world application. So this is a slide that was in one of the breakout rooms, which was Unit 10, Lesson 5 for pre-algebra, volume of a cylinder. It had some facts. It had the formula for volume, and then down below there were a couple videos for the kids to watch, and then they could go ahead and start working on their lesson. So there was a slide like that in each breakout room. Then at the end, we came back to the main room and we worked on a real-world application. And it was kind of an extension for all of the kids. This was a really good one. It was about perfume bottles and the different shapes. So some kids were working on spheres, some were working on cones, on cylinders. So they were able to come back and collaborate to find out, which bottle was the best. So it was a really good application. So that is how I did my Choose Your Own Adventure.
Hello, everyone. Can you give me a smiley face emoticon? Let me know you can hear me okay today. Excellent. Thank you very much. So I teach American history, and so with history, we found students being all over the place like many other subjects. So what I decided to do is have breakout rooms for a specific unit. I'm going to give you an example here of Unit 5. So in the main room, we'd have a specific session, let's say French and Indian War, for example, but then I would have breakout rooms for the rest of the lessons in that unit, whether it was lesson 5, lesson 8, lesson 12, and students would be allowed to move themselves into those breakout rooms. And as they worked their way through the breakout rooms, they would see a slide very similar to this, where they would have an old recording link of that specific lesson that I've done online already. Then they can go back and easily find that specific recording for that Class Connect session. But also I would provide some other sort of resource in there as well. French and Indian War, for example, I would do a safe YouTube video of something that I found that is appropriate for middle school students and pass that along with them. And you can see one here for 2 lessons that worked well together, Lesson 5 and 7, Stamp of English Rights, and Boston Massacre. Again, Class Connect session, and then another video clip that would help them out. And students can use these and go through them at their own pace and their own progress. And here's another one, just a different example, same recording link of a past session, but in this time I have provided a specific link where students can go in and look at the Sons of Liberty to a specific website that can help them understand these groups of people even more. So it allows me to offer differentiation, additional resources if they want to spend the time and they're on that specific lesson. And just a couple more examples here for you, taking a look at the Shot Around the World. And the last slide here, the Declaration of Independence, and another link to an outside resource allowing students to go in and take a look. And this offers us the ability for students to come in and take a look at these sessions, pick what they are working on. If they're in Unit 5 or if they're about to finish or they're just starting, they don't have to stick with me in the main room. They can go out and do their own thing. They can come back with questions at the end and discuss something that they watched. They can jump around and go through whatever they need for that lesson on that specific day. Most pre-recorded sessions, are about 45 to an hour. So, I mean, most of mine, that's how long my sessions kind of run, depending on the resources that I add in a live session, depending on the videos, the web tours we go to, things like that.
One of the most important things that I've discovered over the course of this school year is that creating a cohesive Choose Your Own Adventure session requires a little bit of extra planning. So one of the things I really like to start with is coming together as a group before students go off in their own independent study in their own individual breakout rooms. And I found that anticipating learning really gives us all a collective focus. So even though the information students are gathering in their breakout rooms is different, resources like KWL charts, that's what I've been using, and that's what's been most successful, really help to make us feel like one class. Students benefit from reflecting and sharing what they've learned with others. And then teachers really have the opportunity to better understand what next instructional steps for specific students or even for the group are going to look like. Again, I feel like a KWL chart, something I know I use frequently when I was teaching in a brick and mortar classroom, has been really effective. Something like this: what do I know? What do I want to know? And what have I learned? So regardless of what we're focusing on, whether students are with me in the main room or in individual breakout rooms, we all set a purpose for learning. What do I already know about this topic? So I'm an English teacher. I focus on grammar in my Class Connect sessions. So if we're talking about direct and indirect objects, we might say, I know that they follow action verbs. Students may come in with the question, what do I want to know about this topic? What is a transitive verb? What's the difference between these two things? And then at the end of instruction, after everybody comes back together, we reflect on our learning and students have an opportunity to share with other kids in the class.
So for our evaluation methods, to see how our Choose Your Own Adventure was going, we wanted to ask the students' opinions and see what we could do to improve and what they liked about it, since this was a pilot program last spring. So what we did was we created a Google form and we asked them questions. And this is in your toolkit that is available in the Dropbox, so you can see some of their responses. So some of the questions that we asked was, what draws you into any Class Connect session the most? Not just the Choose Your Own Adventure classes, so we could really see what types of things they were interested in. Because at the International Academy, the Class Connect sessions are not required. So we wanted to know what they did want to see. And then how many Class Connect sessions they did attend per week. What were some of the favorite activities they liked in the Choose Your Own Adventure classes? And what did they prefer not to participate in and why? Because we wanted to see what was going on in those sessions so we could improve and what their takeaways were as students. We wanted to know if they felt that what was being presented in the breakout room was specific enough for them to go to these classes. And when they did choose the Choose Your Own Adventure, did you stay in the main room or did you go to the breakout room? Which one were they preferring and why? So from piloting the Choose Your Own Adventure Class Connect sessions in the spring, we wanted to open it up to more. And so in the fall of this school year in 2017, we started offering it to all of the teachers within the middle school, and we brought it to all staff in the International Academy so we could show them what we were doing. And students were requesting them more and more, and teachers were finding ways to reach multiple terms and students in one session. So reaching that was really a differentiating success because we were able to provide more information for students to where they were at in their classes. We are managing those needs of interaction, and we are still tweaking it along the way as we continue, and we're building a library of these sessions and experiences. And as I mentioned earlier, it's building more and more information for us to have at our fingertips for our regular interactions outside of the classes for additional support when they are struggling with concepts. And we continue to collaborate and brainstorm with each other with additional teachers so that we can build those libraries and sessions. So if you have any questions, here is our contact information that we are passing out, also our toolkit. We created a s'more that has some additional information about how this was created and how to create your own session. So you can go ahead and click Save now if you would like to. And let us know if you have any questions along the way. And we do have multiple breakout rooms, and the big thing that we needed to make sure that we did was turn off the chat in the breakout room so we could monitor what the students were interacting and talking to each other without the teacher being able to monitor that because they were presenting in the main room. So does anyone have any questions for us?
I have a quick question. On your enrollment, when your students start, do they start where you are or do they start from the beginning?
That's a wonderful question. So they start from the beginning, so they're with a term, and everyone in that term starts from the beginning. We do have mid-year enrollments in the spring where they start with the beginning of semester 2 because they school somewhere else in semester 1, but they start with their group there, but they can work at their own pace and we adjust for them. There's a great question on the board about students going into the breakout room and not doing anything. And just like with any of our Class Connect sessions, we do check in with them throughout the way and encourage them to work. We can bring them into a separate room and check in with them and talk with them as we have a break in our main class and private message them if they need anything. So it would be the same, teach like a champion type of techniques that you would use with your main room that you would use with your breakout room students. And this is just one of the types of Class Connect sessions that we have. We still continue to have traditional Class Connect sessions. And how many kids do we have in a class? We have a varying of students, and I will let some of the other teachers answer this. We have anywhere from a few students to 20, 30 students depending because we have the different terms.
Yeah, I know with my Choose Your Own Adventure sessions, depending on average, could be upwards on the kind of low ends. Usually it's maybe 5 students because attendance is not mandatory. And then usually on the high ends, when I'm able to invite multiple terms who are at a certain unit, it could be upwards in the 12 to 15 to 20 range. So it just depends. And then if we do an all history group, for example, where we get American history and world history together, we do see those numbers increase dramatically depending on the session and what we're talking about.
And I think that this would definitely work with a larger group. Someone put in the chat to see if those mandatory sessions, if you have the breakout room set up with specific targeted sessions or topics, then it would absolutely work because you have the setup ahead of time of what you want them to be clicking on and focusing on. So the main idea is to have that setup already done, and then you can use it in multiple different ways. And a lot of what we did when we were pre-doing it is we had already our created sessions from previous Class Connects that we drew from. So those web videos and those topics you already been using in your other sessions we used for our slides in the breakout room.